issues are people want to have their own issues, so it's okay.
Oh.
Are you the special guest?
Me?
Okay, so it is 10 o'clock. We are going to get started because we are on a little bit of a time schedule today because we have a special guest at 10:25. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started. Somebody ringing?
She left and got orders.
Oh, okay. So this morning we have, sorry, let me get everything up here. We're pretty good, and I've got your presentation ready to go too. So this is Don Campos with Members Title. You guys are in South Lake, right?
We have an office in South Lake.
Where are you based?
15 locations.
Okay, where are you based?
I'm in South Lake most of the time, but I'm wherever the closings take me, really.
Okay, well, very good. Well, this is Don. Everybody say thank you for breakfast.
Thank you.
And come on in. You're on camera right here, so everybody can see you from there.
Okay, awesome. Good morning, everyone. I was invited by Holly. Holly and I have known each other for a minute. And I have been in the title industry for a long time. I'm probably going to age myself, but I've been in it for 24 years. So this industry is crazy, which is why I brought mimosas, because I figure that's how we need to get through it, right?
Really start the day.
That's right. That's right. Keeps our mind
Pulling it up
straight.
right now. I'm pulling up your presentation.
Okay, perfect. As I mentioned, one of our bases is in South Lake, but we've got 15 locations in DFW. We are a smaller title company that was established in 2016 by the Pentagon Federal Credit Union. So even though we're small, we've got a really big company behind us, which if you know anything about title, what is title? Does anybody know? It's what type of product?
Insurance.
It is an insurance product. And what is insurance about?
Protection.
Protection. So an insurance company is looking for minimize what? Risk. Right. And so if you have companies that don't have bigger pockets are shyer with risk, right? So companies that have bigger pockets sometimes can take on a little bit more, a little bit more risk. So even though we're small, we're nimble, which allows us to do transactions that sometimes other title companies won't take, right? We also have an attorney on staff. So we're able to help with your non-TREC type transactions, we can prepare the contracts, et cetera, but also help with divorce, airship issues, all the fun things that y'all trip on every once in a while, right? Yeah, we've got a lot of those. And earlier this morning, I was listening to a conversation about a water district, and those are tricky too. So we do have kind of a database of all of the forms with PIDs and PUDs and water districts all over the Metroplex. So my card is out on the table. If you run into a pickle like that, just give me a call. Even if it's not our transaction, we'll be happy to help you. Because if you don't disclose right, they can get you in a little bit of trouble, right? And you don't want to be in trouble. One of the things that we like to do is not just be a traditional title company. We like to partner with our agents, right? And so I don't know about you, but when I think of partnership, I think of how am I going to add value, right? All title, y'all probably know this, but title fees are set by the state, right? So my fees and the guy down the street's fees are the same. So we're not going to win business based on pricing. So we're going to win business on relationships. Does that sound familiar to you guys too? That's how you win your business, right? Is value add. So this is, we're starting kind of, we already started, but we're in the middle of tax season, right? Property taxes. And I don't know if y'all get calls about property taxes from past clients and people in your SOI. But one of the things that we've seen that is pretty successful, whether it's to your current SOI or to a subdivision that you're farming and trying to get access into, is offering a property tax seminar. Okay, I sent over a little presentation of one that I did recently so that Brian can kind of show you what we put together. We make them specific to the neighborhood or the area that you're trying to reach. Right now, if you're reaching your full SOI, we could do just kind of a general one, but we like to put in what taxing authorities they're paying, right? What those rates are, how to file for exemptions, what exemptions are available. And this is super interesting because you have a lot of people coming from out of state, right? They don't understand property taxes in Texas. If you're on any kind of neighborhood Facebook page or ward, you've seen all the comments about it. People are super confused about it. So this kind of helps them understand it. And also, even for those that aren't from out of state, but coming from different parts of the Metroplex, taxing authorities can be different. I live in Haslett. out in that area, we have MUDs, we have PUDs, we have PIDs, you know what I mean? There's different things that are taxed. So they don't understand those. So it's just kind of an offering that you can offer that community to help those homeowners that might be selling in the future or might be trying to get people to join them as neighbors, kind of explaining that to them. I have found that HOAs are very, very open to you going in and offering those classes. Why? Well, because they get the calls. They get the calls from the homeowners saying, what the heck, my taxes went up $4,000 from, you know, whatever, from the unimproved to the improved, right? And so for them, that more education to their HOA members, less phone calls and irritated people in their office, right? So what I personally have done a couple in the last couple of months, and what happens is I just go into the HOA kind of activities manager and I offer it up and in partnership with a realtor. This is just more of an education process to help realtors kind of touch their SOI. And I found that it's pretty successful, right? Because people, you know, when I talk to other agents that are in your shoes, you want to be known as the expert, right? You want to be known as it's annoying sometimes because they'll call you about a pediatrician or whatever, right, when they move. But you want those calls coming to you because if they're not coming to you, they're going to go to someone else, right? And someone else has then an opportunity to kind of take them out of your SOI. So these type of things are things that we put together to offer to our agents to help them reach their SOI, along with your traditional farming tools like lists and et cetera, which we have available as well. But really, we like to partner with you guys to help you guys be more successful in whatever target you have. Okay, any questions? Awesome. Well, if this is interesting and you'd like to schedule one and like me to help you do that, I'm happy to do that. Also, please come out and don't let us take this stuff home with us. Thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much.
I have a little question.
Absolutely.
On these classes that you offer, can you do those via Zoom?
We can, yeah. And not that it might be applicable to anybody in the room, but I speak Spanish and Portuguese, so I can do these in other languages as well if that happens to be your target audience.
That's fun.
I mean, I can
That's
see
super cool.
People that are, you know.
well, it does come in handy in DFW, right?
Yeah,
If you're aware, DFW claims right now 49% Hispanic, so that's a big part of our market. We do closings in those languages as well. We also offer mobile notaries at our cost, so we'll close where a client wants to close. That's something we absorb, but we also have 15 different locations.
I was going to ask your locations, are they only in the Metroplex?
So mainly in the Metroplex, we've got so what we do is we lease with a company called Lucid Private Offices, if you've ever heard of them. And they have some in like Austin now and San Antonio, but mainly in the Metroplex.
Okay.
15 of them, and they're very nice, right? So your client will come in, they'll offer a cappuccino, they'll sit down in office. So it's not like meeting at Starbucks. So,
No worries. I work 2 markets, so I always like to know.
what's your other market?
Central Texas. So just north of Austin.
Yeah, they've got 4 in Austin. So cool. We can do that.
Thank you
Great
very
question.
much. And we thank you, John.
Thank y'all.
And mimosas too. Wow.
I know.
How cool is that? Now y'all stay sober.
I don't even have one. Stop looking at me.
Why do you think I'm looking at you?
You were?
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and go through the rest of the presentation for our guy coming at 10:25. So we're going to hit our core value. Jimmy's focus this year for us is about keeping things going well, staying the course in certain respects, and that's at the level 10 level that we're talking about these things, that we want to maintain this beautiful relationship that we all seem to have. So to that end, this is one core value that I rarely do, because I don't want you guys to take this in a different way. So let me hit it. So we intentionally keep our teams small and curated, always partnering with and rewarding the right people. It's not about having the biggest team, but about having the best team. We hire and fire based on culture and mission. Yes, we could be one of those offices that just hires 40 people out of Champions, and we get people running through here all the time. Very easy to do that. We choose not to do that. You guys will notice that when we hire people, they're people that come and they usually stay. because we are looking at culture. We're looking at those personalities and how those personalities are going to intertwine and mix with the people that we have here. But that's part of what we're doing here. You want to add anything to the core value?
That's it, man. Yeah, culture is a huge thing. And we used to not focus on that. And like we were just like, we just need to have a big brokerage like everybody else. And I was like, you know what? No, we are going to focus on culture, focus on working as a team, focus on each other and growing your business. Like that's what we're going to focus on. As soon as we started doing that, we started growing magically. But you guys don't know it, but I meet with, quite a bit of agents and, their candid conversations or like some of you guys I met with and I'm like, yeah, come on, let's go. Like you just tell, you meet with enough agents, you just know. But you guys don't ever really see the agents that I meet with where I'm like, I think another brokerage would be a better fit, and they're like, well, I mean, I really think I'd be a good fit. I'm like, no. And so there are those honest conversations, it's not just like you guys are like, yeah, you'll take anybody. No, that's not really true. If the reason that you felt that way is because I was like, yep, your part, like, come on, let's go. But there's definitely we're definitely not in the business of hiring anyone and everybody. So yeah.
Okay, so quick announcements. Next week we have breakfast with Craig Shane and Ag Trust Farm Credit. He's doing a deal for me right now on some land, 25 acres down in Cleveland, and super nice guy. He's going to drive up from Cleveland. His office is in Cleveland actually, and he's going to drive up and have breakfast with us next Wednesday. So please be here at 9:45 for that. Year-end tax info is in the works. Rachel is working hard to reconcile your transactions and income. See my email that I sent you Sunday, I think it was Monday, about that coming from Jimmy.
Really quick on that. Guys, if you guys have any tax questions, like you have an accountant, I'm sure, ask them. But if you ever need like business, there's a whole HR and finance section to your business that rarely ever gets touched, right? You don't have HR probably, but complain on yourself. But there's like a whole section of your business and operations that is all finance, forecasting. There's accountants, bookkeeping, taxes, how much to pay, when to pay, and if you haven't, been doing that for a while, or if you just want some like fresh tips, schedule a meeting with me. I am a pro on paying the least amount of taxes possible. I hate it. So I mean, feel free to schedule that calendar link in there. I'd love to help out.
Yeah, that link is, I forgot to put it in Sunday's email, but it'll be back or Monday's email. It'll be back this week and we'll leave it in there for the spring. So you can schedule time with Jimmy. Reach out email campaign, Jimmy again.
Oh yeah. So this is coming.
Why don't you just do announcements and off and out?
Again, reach out email. I announced this last week, but there should be an email going out here in the next couple of weeks of kind of a summary of this. It'll basically be just to manage expectations. It'll be on a Wednesday, and it'll be probably like a 4-hour, like 3 to 4 hour. Like we'll have time slots that you'll come. We might do it all at once. I'm still trying to figure out the logistics of that. But it'll be like a workshop where you come, you bring pictures, you might bring some copy like that you type out, and we'll give you homework assignments, and you'll come and we'll tell you how to implement 24 emails into your WeChat that automatically send out. It's called a drip campaign, marketing campaign. So we'll do that for you. So where you'll come with your homework assignments, we'll do the workshop, we'll make sure everybody gets that into their system, where you have an automatic drip campaign going for the next 12 months. Really cool. It's going to be just as easy as it possibly can be. It's like literally just pressing play, assuming that you do your homework assignments and your contacts are in WeChat. So,
is it going to be like, I guess what like content is it? Is it going to be like market updates? Is it just going to be like,
No.
Hey, it's us? Like,
it's going to be a variety of things. Okay. There'll be some of them are going to be like holiday season specific. Mm-hmm. Some of them will be more just generic. There's a few that are generic, and then several will be custom. Cool. That's just to you. So you'll have like copy that's just about you, or picture just for you that you'll have in there. So there's like a variety of stuff because you don't want it's about me 12 emails in a row, and so it's a variety. It's kind of seasonal, as well as custom. So it'll be kind of, and then obviously if you don't want to put it in email, you're like, I don't like that one.
No, that's okay. I just am like, I'm thinking about building an email list, right? Like building out an email list. Is this something that like I can share with people all over the place, or
Yes.
do I want to keep it?
Yeah,
more-
it'll be your entire customer database. Like it'll be people that have bought with you, but people that you just met. You know, it's like you grab their email. It's like, oh, it's good to meet you. Put them on your drip campaign,
Okay.
and it's just a
Okay.
reminder. So the idea of the drip campaign is that you're fresh in mind
Mhm.
to all of your sphere, and so it's good enough where they're like, oh, that person's a realtor, but it's not bad enough where it's like unsubscribe. And like literally that's the whole point, is I'm top of mind, so everybody thinks realtor, they think they know, right?
Okay, I'm sorry, gotta hit these quickly. Metris has added Waco area, Waco Association of Realtors, so we'll be getting part of those, part of CTX will be coming in. I don't know how much of CTX is coming in yet.
It's not CTX.
It's not, it's just Waco. It's just Waco.
Waco is different than CTX.
Okay, so Waco's gonna be added in, so that'll be good. And if you're one of the people that has CTX, well, now you're gonna have Waco too. So that's really cool. Tomorrow is a creation day, video creation day for storytelling. I've asked some people to be here. Everyone is invited to be here. We're going to sit in this office. They're going to come in, do a video of us doing this exact class, and then they're going to go back down the hall and they're going to video people doing things in construction, people doing things in the podcast room. It's going to be like it's a busy office thing going on. If you don't have anything to do tomorrow, 12:45 to 2, come be a body. Nobody has speaking roles. Everybody's just coming. We're just movable props, okay? People props. So we're just going to be standing around and they're going to video us doing things. If you don't have anything to do tomorrow, 12:45 to 2, please come up here. It's not going to start at about 1:15, but I want to get everybody in place so that Sage and the directors can put us where they want us. So 12:45 tomorrow, if you don't have anything going on. Don't forget the buyer's checklist and the listing checklist are now in all of those places on the backside. Those are brand new, just a week old, so please grab those. Let's hit the national market update. Housing starts rocketed up 16% in December with single families and multifamily seeing gains. Permits slipped a smidge. Housing completions for the calendar year ran at the fastest pace since 2006, 18 years. So this is really big news. National Association of Home Builders edged higher in January on hopes of improved economy. The Mortgage Bankers Association reported total mortgages applications shot up 33% from the week before, reaching the highest level in a month. Purchase applications were up 27% on heightened home buyer activity. I'm seeing a little bit of that on my listings. Everybody should be seeing a little bit. You're getting a couple more calls. Things are starting to pick up. We're getting towards that springtime. I think once we get out of this really cold January weather, I think it'll pick up even more. Review of last week. Traders sent stocks sharply higher. Of course, when the stocks and the market goes higher, what happens? Rates go up edge a little bit. So we saw that. Better than feared core CPI report featured a dip in the year-over-year inflation, that helps bonds, which could benefit mortgage rates. We did see a little bit of a dip, if you noticed, and I'm going to show you that in just a second. Industrial production wrapped up the year on surprising high notes, and people look forward to a healthier domestic business environment. This week's forecast includes existing home sales, mortgage apps, consumer sentiment. We'll be watching that Mortgage Bankers Association applications index this week to see how that improved or if it stayed the same, because going up 33%, well, now it's a higher benchmark to hit this week. Federal Reserve Watch, exactly the same, nothing changed, and that's from week to week. They're still expecting us to stay solid on interest rates. Here's the reports from the 3 people that I'm collecting reports from. This is from last Friday. You can see they were down at 7.11. Ryan's got his on the 21st at 7.08 on a 30-year fixed. You'll notice some of the smaller lenders have even better rates because they're giving some discount points internally. So don't hurt to check with them. This is Petra Home Living, Sean Russell's brother. So their rates are different. So you can always check those people just to see where their rates are. But do your homework. You know, be aware of what your loan officers are offering. Okay. Business tip: if you don't take control of your time, someone else will. Successful people believe in having an untouchable morning routine. This creates the foundation for a day in which you control your time, your mindset, and ultimately your success. That is that time blocking thing that we always talk about. Take control of your day. Schedule your family time. I didn't do that when I was a young agent. Schedule your family time. Schedule your time with your kids, with your husband, with your wife. Those things are very important. Don't let
Yourself.
with yourself. Absolutely.
Self-care. Yeah.
Absolutely. Self-care. So those are things that are important. If massage makes you feel good, schedule it. Put it on the calendar and do it. Those are, huh?
Oh, yeah, brother.
See, Angela and I are going to Mexico next week, so.
Oh,
Yeah, I watched the TikTok the other day, some realtor was like, realtor, it was like, realtor diaries, whatever, like, if you go out of town.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn my phone off, so maybe they'll just crack up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I went to Vegas Thursday and I have 5 meetings set from Thursday and Friday. People calling that I haven't heard from in years.
Yeah.
So anyway, did you know in a recent survey, would-be buyers said move-in readiness and the right number of bedrooms were their top-rated home features. Home offices and updated kitchens were now low on the list. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a
Well,
lot of
that's
companies are requiring full-blown go back to work.
Yep.
So
Yep.
my daughter's going through, she's like, I'm quitting. I was like, what?
Reminder about the cheat sheet for compensation. This is still confusing to a lot of people, and that's completely fine. This is in the brokerage announcements channel. Just scroll up 2 or 3 lines and it'll be there. This exact wording is there. The 5A and the 5B paragraph of the listing agreement, how to do that. Also, don't forget that Forewarn is available. Oh, thank you, Jim. I'm glad you got to use it. Thank you for saying that. Forewarn is available. If you haven't downloaded that application on your phone, please do so. I think it's really good for everybody to just take a look at who you're dealing with. Did you hear about that last week?
Yeah.
Okay. Rachel said very good. Okay, good. Well, I'm glad y'all are using that cheat sheet. I think it was pretty helpful. Okay, so I made it. I got 3 minutes left. So we were talking about, we back up a couple of things here before this person joins us.
Oh, a special guest.
Special guest.
It's better be good.
Are they virtual or in person?
Virtual.
Oh,
I know, we were all
I was
like.
had like a.
I couldn't afford to get in here.
Oh,
Maybe
is
you're right.
it, can we guess?
No, can I guess? Keep all of your opinions to yourself. Completely to yourself.
I was gonna say.
I want to see Big
That would
Bird.
have been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it's anything other than Big Bird, we're all scared.
Yeah, Patty and I are
Well, in California, it's only 8:22
Oh my God,
right
is
now. So
Is it, are you get my initial BB?
you'll see in just a couple minutes.
start dropping hints like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I can't do that. So it is Big Bird. Big Bird.
See if Patty or size.
So ready.
Yeah, too much. You're trying to guess?
Yeah. They didn't let us guess, but we did anyway.
Big Bird.
Yeah, they were.
They don't
were-
forget to.
They put your Big Bird costume
on
quickly.
Yeah.
Or you're gonna have some disappointed agents.
Yeah.
I'll give you a hint.
I think
We already know.
Oh, you already know it?
I think we just want
Acknowledge it.
Who is it? I don't know. I think we just said it. Where were you for that conversation?
Yeah.
In the middle of the month.
Wow.
I really didn't hear it, so I'm gonna be surprised.
You will be.
I'm gonna
Let's
be-
give it away.
I'm gonna be like
Mine is
shocked and awe.
incorrect.
What is happening?
That would be cool.
What?
Big Bird?
No.
What was your guess?
Tanner.
Oh. Let me. Yeah.
Special guest.
He's on.
Oh!
That's so
That picture's awful.
Oh,
wow.
Yes.
And why is he in California?
Hello.
Stay off the track. It's kind of like,
Hey, Jana.
Face. Delaware.
That's a wonderful surprise.
What's up, guys?
This is I've read.
I think.
Is this the first?
Hey, Brian, can we like scratch the screen share so I can see the room a little bit? I'm trying to
absolutely. What I'm working on right now.
Okay.
There he is.
Hello. Look at you guys. I see some beautiful faces, some beautiful backs of heads. Unfortunately, Jimmy's there, so that's
Trying to be in the front.
not good. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Doing good. Well, I'm excited to join you guys for the meeting today. Brian like didn't give me any direction as far as like what to share, what to talk about, but I figured I would just kind of make it up on the fly, like most of my meetings at 6th Ave, just pulling stuff. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I prepared heartily, as you guys remember. For those of you guys that don't know me, I'm the one responsible for all of the typos on the backside. If you guys are still using the backside, that was me. Me and Jimmy built that out back in 2020 when we were taking 6th Ave kind of into the second phase as a brokerage. I know we left it in incredible hands because the things that I've heard are so far beyond what I could have imagined. Being able to be accomplished. So kudos to you, Brian, and the hard work that all of you guys have put in as agents. And I think I see like half of Danielle's face. Is that Danielle? Hey, Danielle. Yes.
Well, okay, so let's everybody stand up and look at the camera so Tanner can see us. Patty.
Hey, Patty. Kristen.
This is Patty Smith. And this is, you know,
I've heard
Clarissa, though.
crazy funny things about you.
Oh
This
my
is Smith
gosh.
Bush.
I'm from Delaware too.
Awesome. Okay.
Anthony's
Hey,
here.
Ollie.
Kaya, you don't know Tanner. New agent back there, and then Angela.
I'm favorite.
Yeah. Well, it's a gift to come back and chat a little bit. A couple things that I think are worth sharing. So I'll give you just a quick life updates. I left 6th Ave, moved to Campos back September of 2024, whatever last year was, 2023. Yeah, it all runs together. I've had 2 kids in the span of the past 3 years, so my brain's not working. But it was a part of wanting to go after a dream of our families, and that was to move to the coast, be at the beach, be near my wife's family. And it came to fruition a little faster than we had expected. And so now we're, if you're familiar with the Delaware coast, it's beautiful. The weather kind of tracks with San Diego about 9 months out of the year. And then you got 3 months where, like today, it's 19 degrees and we've got 2 inches of snow on the ground. And unlike Texas, life just keeps going. People just act like it's nothing here, which I'm getting used to. So I get to actually wear my vest for warmth instead of style. But it's been a fun adjustment. We're loving it out here so far. I'm currently leading an office out here. We've got about 60 agents out of this office. We've got one of the largest teams in the country that's out of this office, and a number of just great individual principals. So I'm back in the leadership seat. Couple things that or I guess one general topic I felt like is worth sharing is like what are we seeing? What are we thinking? It's like on the horizon for 2025. I would love to say lower interest rates. I would love to be the one to bring that good news, but a lot of the sentiment over here, and just we have such a large national reach. 30,000 agents. The number one brokerage as far as like sales volume goes. So we have just access to a lot of data. We're not necessarily expecting a decrease in rates, unfortunately, but from our end and the conversations that just our CEO is having with the DOJ about the NAR changes and everything, we're expecting 2025 to have some more changes just in the way that we do business. They may come down from the DOJ, it might come from NAR, but there's a lot of people with a lot of money actively fighting, I think, for consumers' interests in a way that doesn't restrict our business. And I know I've read through the Texas, changes. Our buyers reps out here I don't think are friendly for anybody. They're actually, I think, detract for literally every party involved in the transaction. So I'm expecting a lot of changes to come. I wouldn't be surprised if we have new documents come July, which we'll see. So for us as agents, it's how do we stay agile and educated, and kind of one of the metaphors I've been using a lot is, you know, how do we be the flight attendant, right? When there's a little turbulence, everybody kind of gets a little nervous, but if the flight attendant's not freaking out, you don't freak out. And I think, you know, as leaders, but more importantly as agents, when we're working with our clients who are, you know, the ultimate, you know, the ultimate goal in this is to take good care of them. Like, we want to have that non-anxious presence, to have the piece to how we're going to move forward, be able to simply articulate what's important for them, and be able to roll with the punches. That's one thing that agents are incredibly good at, and I don't think we get enough credit for. So that's kind of what we're thinking is on the horizon for 2025. More changes, more punches that we we have the pleasure to get to take on the chin. A couple of things that I've learned over the past year that I think are maybe just helpful, maybe encouraging for you guys. I've met with agents from all around the country, teams, large teams, small teams, you know, people producing 300 million a year, like just crazy. And the one thing that has struck me that I'm, you know, go in with a learning mindset into every one of these meetings. The one thing I leave every meeting with is there's no silver bullets. There's nothing behind the scenes that these people that have done incredibly well or have done terribly could do to like change everything in an instant. I think the big lessons that I've distilled and, you know, I try to teach our agents in our coaching meetings and our planning meetings is like, start with your mindset. Like, your mindset is going to determine everything else about your business. Like, if you are thinking today is going to be a bad day, it will be a bad day. If you wake up and you say, hey, I'm going to do my best to make this a great day, you're going to have a chance at it being a great day. It still might be a rough day, but you're going to at least have a chance at it being great. And the other thing that I've seen, I've kind of boiled down to this is, while there's no silver bullets, like, to find success, especially from lead generation, the formula is authenticity and consistency. That's it. Like, that's your foundation. Like, when you're thinking about lead generation, how you grow your business, do things that are authentic to you. So if you, I'll use Danielle as an example, which was one of my favorite things to do when I was leading. If you're Danielle and you hate working with your friends, like, don't be sitting around thinking about how many friends can I take out to coffee this week just because that's what's right for another agent. If you don't like social media, don't be sitting around thinking, okay, I have to be dancing on TikTok to go and lead generate. If it's not authentic for you, don't do it. Stick to the things that are authentic to you. That might be getting coffee, writing handwritten notes. That might be dancing on TikTok. That might be doing wonderful open house videos like Brian does. But stick to what's authentic, and then consistent. Like, be consistent. Don't just take activities and do them once in a vacuum and expect them to pay off. Like, choose activities that you can do weekly with some regular rhythm, once, twice, 3 times a week, but you're going to keep them going throughout the year. If you get that formula right, you're going to grow your business. There's a reason why got Buffini 100 Days of Greatness, the rest of that program, and programs like Ninja are incredibly successful because they're focused on the foundations. It's how many contacts with the people that I want to work with can I have? And that's it. Turn your brain off and go connect. Systems like the Tom Ferry system, where you're focused on social media and different avenues like that. It's consistent and it's authentic to those people. And I know Jana is a huge ninja gal, and I just got to give a shout out because the ninja folks that I've met across the country are just find success. It's you stick to it and you just give it 30 days. You give it 90 days. It will pay off. Same thing with the Buffini folks. Like, you go through 100 Days of Greatness, you stick to that program, and then you start implementing it and tweaking a little bit to make it authentic for you, but you stick with it. You give it 18 months, you give it 2 years to pay off, and you're going to be blown away by what you're able to achieve. Like, you can't outdream that system. You really can't. And I've gone in as a young guy, in new markets, expecting to come in and see something. Oh my gosh, like these agents, this agent's selling $10 million houses. Like, what's she doing? What was the magic? Well, she just did this for long enough over a certain period of time, and it worked. And you would be blown away by the kinds of mistakes and issues that you might be having or running into are the same things that the top producers in the country are having. The difference between, I think, an agent that might be struggling to get going and the agents that have found a lot of success. I mean, a lot of people have had things handed to them, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to how long can you stick out the game and be consistent in the game. That's what blows me away every day. And I wish I had something more profound, but it really is like, I feel like Solomon, so to speak. Like I've searched and seeked and talked to everybody. I've tried to get every experience that I can. And I keep coming back to consistency and authenticity is everything. So hopefully that is helpful. There's all kinds of other stuff I could share if you guys have questions or you want to hear me riff on some like soapbox things, but that was one of the things that was top of mind for me this morning.
Thank you for that, Tanner. That's something I think that we all have been trying to cement that in everybody's mind, is the consistency, the intentionality, and the authenticity of what we're doing. And I thank you for reaffirming those things to us, because I think that's from and it's great to hear your story of going from here to Campos to Delaware and still seeing those exact same things work no matter where you work. Yeah.
It's funny. It's like across markets, high when we're, in the middle of COVID, interest rates are super low, houses are flying off the shelves. We're just trying to figure out how do we price it right to maximize, my client sales price, to, the past 2 years with a struggling interest rate environment. We're all kind of holding our breath, waiting for it to come up, and it doesn't look like it's coming up. There's no silver bullets. It's stay consistent. I think, Brian, actually, while I'm saying that, the other thing I've noticed across the markets is like the money is made right now. It's in the winter months. It's December, January, February, March, where your deals are made in July. The activities that you're doing right now, that's when they pay off. Like there is a 60 to 90 day lag on the return of that coffee or that text message or that Facebook like or that call because you were just thinking about somebody or that social media post. It's made now, and a lot of agents take the foot off the gas because they came through a brutal year and you had some rough closings or whatever. And you just need a break. And I'm a big believer that you go and get rest for a week, maybe 2 weeks even, but that becoming 30, 60, 90 days is a little bit too much. And so that's when you kind of get back on the horse and you start doing those consistent things. Just make that one phone call, make that 5 phone calls, write that handwritten note, send that video message, whatever it is. But start doing it now. And if you really want to get after it this year, like January and February is the time to crank it up. Absolutely. It gives everybody enough time to send you those referrals later on in the year. Oh, hey, I was just thinking about XYZ, or I saw this ad that you put out, or I saw this post, and you talked to me 2 times earlier in the year. Like that's how the money is made. And I think that I'm encouraging a lot of our agents not to lose sight of that right now.
Very good. We're doing a challenge here in the office called the CMA challenge. And about 20 of us that said that we would do 8 weeks of sending out CMAs to past clients. And then we're going to kind of measure how that goes for the rest of the year. If everybody that did that gets to see more activity than what we saw last year when they didn't do the CMA challenge. So we're trying things like that too. What are you seeing from your market in terms of buyer activity? What's going on the northeast corner, Delaware, and where all the other areas that you serve? Are you seeing our activity pick up? Is it staying solid? What's going on?
Yeah. So that's one thing that changes from market to market. So my market is it's southeastern Delaware. A lot of second homes, a lot of retirement. Average age of buyer down here is like 58. Not a ton of first-time home buyer inventory nor employment. So we're seeing buyers really slow down. Granted, it's been on pace with pre-COVID trajectory. So I think we're kind of like more in a reasonable, predictable market cycle right now. And a lot of our buyers aren't interest rate sensitive. They're buying a luxury property. You know, they're putting 50% or more in cash. So the buyer profile is a little bit different. In our northern market, which is Wilmington, Delaware, it's a suburb of Philly. They're seeing buyer activity pick up quite a bit. That pent up demand that typically comes post election is starting to release. We're seeing a little bit of that right now, but I think it's gonna be a little bit more in February. And I wouldn't be surprised if the transaction count back there is, 30% higher than it was last year. I mean, we were at nationally, like a 36-year low or 30-year low, something like that as far as transactions. So I think that pent up demand is going to happen. I'm curious if we're going to see the inventory come to the market to meet it. And that's a similar to what we're seeing in like our DC market, which is one of the big referral markets for us down here. Because you live in DC, you're going to come vacation in the summer in Rehoboth Beach or Lewis or Bethany, which is kind of the area we serve. And they're just sucking it up. They're doing a 2-1 buy down. They're just taking the interest rate for where it's at, and getting deals. They're just moving. Life goes on, so to speak. So how are things for you guys right now? Is the market tight?
Inventory is still pretty solid. I don't think that we have an inventory problem per se. We just have so many people that are interest rate sensitive, especially in the lower price points, under 350, 400.
Yep.
They're much more interest rate sensitive. And we still have a lot of that inventory in, especially the southern end of the Metroplex, Dallas and Fort Worth both.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of interested in how, because I knew that you had some numbers for Philadelphia, for DC, and that will, I don't want to say quadrangle, but that area right there where you are, kind of wanted to see what you guys were seeing. Because we were just talking about, we saw MBA, Mortgage Bankers Association index went up 33% last week in applications, which was fantastic. But I didn't know if that was translating to buyers in your vicinity. Do you measure it on a weekly basis, or is yours just more monthly, quarterly thing?
Yeah, I look at it weekly. I mean, all of the above, honestly, like weekly, monthly. Right now, I'm looking to see if we're having a return in showings. Our MLS has some great data that we can dive into. Our showing rate is increased significantly over the showings we were having in the fall. So that's something that's really encouraging. The difference here is a lot of our buyers right now, they're thinking, how can I get into my beach house before Memorial Day? I want to get all the holidays in the summer in. And that helps us because we're kind of like helping them navigate that transition, the right timing. So we're not thinking about school districts and that, at least for the majority of our buyers. That said, I think the consistency that I have the consensus across the country with the sales managers and the agents that I'm meeting with is, we're expecting to see the buyers come back. To what proportion, that sort of thing, I don't know. But like kind of what we do with that, I think is an interesting thing. And so like my coaching point is like, go and take market share right now. Like there are buyers that are hungry, that need a place. Don't let them go work with a Keller Williams agent. Don't let them go work with an EXP agent just because they were the last person to have reached out, or a friend of a friend who's a part-time agent, blah, blah, blah. Like, don't take that. And for those of you that were around when I was at 6 Ave, that was like a constant message. But right now, we're seeing the market share shift. I think we're going to see this for the next 5 or 6 years. It's going to go to the margins. Like it's going to go to like super flat fee folks like Redfin, and if Zillow ever does like a brokerage thing, it's going to go that way, or it's going to go to, the better agents that are already doing volume. And so you kind of have to decide, like, are you going to be IHOP, so to speak? Are you going to, lower yourself in price and make yourself available 24 hours a day to convey value? Or are you're going to say, hey, this is what I do. This is how I take care of people. I'm going to take care of you. And it costs, 2.5%, 3%. And that's just the way I do business. And I'm going to go find more of those people because they're out there. They're going to work with the person that just reaches out and stays in touch, that's in front of them. So hopefully that's helpful. I definitely see this opportunity to go and get market share because other agents, they're dropping out of the industry. I haven't looked at what the Texas like licensee dropout rate. I would assume it's much higher towards the end of 2024 than it has been in the past, which usually it's like 80% every 2 years drop out. So I'm sure y'all are feeling that and there's tension in the market. But that said, like I have a positive outlook on what can be achieved. Like if you're willing to take your work seriously and do that consistent and authentic kind of thing.
Great. Does anybody have any questions? Anything you want to say to Tanner? Say hi.
Hey, next time you leave and you move somewhere, you should tell agents that can refer you business. Because I literally had my Hazlitt people move to Lewis, Delaware.
Oh my God.
And then Tanner on Instagram, I'm like, Lewis. I'm like, so I texted him. I'm like, are you kidding me? I didn't know you were there.
I know. I'm the worst about that. I kind of did it in silence. I think my wife did an Instagram post and that was it. But yes, I will take your referrals gladly.
Yeah.
Here's one thing that practical note that I'm thinking about. Brian and I were just talking about a pre-marketing strategy for listings. I know, listing at you kind of play the Friday, start marketing it, enter it in on Netris on Monday to get a few extra days in there. Don't overlook the power of that strategy in a listing presentation. In our market right now, we have kind of unlimited pre-marketing time. So we're able to do some crazy stuff, some really fun stuff with our agents before we ever start racking up days on market. But just preventing 3 or 4 days on market with that strategy is incredibly helpful for your clients. And if you can figure out a way to articulate that, with an order of events that doesn't just break your back because of the work that you have to do to get it going, it is incredibly powerful. And most agents aren't doing that. They're not pitching their services in that way. And so if you're able to say, hey, we set your target MLS date and we work backwards from there for 3 days. Here's what I'm gonna do on Friday. Here's what I'm gonna do on Saturday. I'm actually gonna blast this out to my network. I'm gonna get pricing feedback on a Google form to see what everybody thinks about this. And that way, on Monday, when this goes into coming soon for our showings next week or open houses, whatever it is that we want to do. And there's 1,000 different ways to play this. So hear me, make that your own, but go and get pricing feedback on Saturday, have an accurate price on Monday so that you're not taking price drops and racking up days on market. That's the biggest killer of value, is that really that nasty little number that's on Zillow that says, days on market this, and then it starts giving all these negative insights to buyers. That's not in your seller's best interest. So the more that we can prevent that, the better. And you can have a distinct advantage going in and competing on these listing presentations with something like just what you're doing of that 48-hour sprint, that 72-hour sprint before it hits the MLS.
Love that. Great tip.
Yeah.
Wisdom
Do what?
Said wisdom from the Tanner.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, it's good to see you guys. If I can help with anything, don't hesitate to reach out. Text me. Number's still the same. Email's just tannermilson@gmail.com. But happy to hop on a call, share thoughts. Just follow me on Instagram, whatever. Smash that subscribe button. You know what to do.
Yeah.
Tanner, thank you so much for being with us today, man. I sincerely appreciate you. We do miss you. Sorry, I took a drink of water. I'm not getting choked up.
He's cracking.
We do miss you, and we love you, man. And just thank you for being you. Thank you for joining us today. I can't thank you enough.
Yeah. Love you guys. Have a great week.
Bye, Tanner. Thanks for popping in.
Of course. See ya.
Well, thank you guys for being here for my special guest. I'm sorry that y'all don't know Tanner. You missed a really great dude.
He lives right down, the next town over from my beach house that my family's owned for 45 years.
Oh, really? That's awesome. Do what?
I'm just entertaining you all in the background.
Yeah.
Just noticed that my whole face was up there on the TV.
Do a little TikTok dance for us.
Go.
Okay.
Wish I had that on video.
We do have it on video.
This is recorded.
Hey guys, that's all I've got for today. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for participating in my silliness. I will, you have questions?
No.
No, son, okay. So it's my goal that I'm gonna have at least one guest speaker a quarter for this year. And they'll come on just like this. And I'm trying to make them, I wanted Tanner to be first just because it's Tanner. A lot of people know Tanner. I'm sorry that some of y'all don't. Didn't get a chance to enjoy his antics, but he's an awesome guy. But I'm going to try to get some really good, interesting people to come talk to us. And always remember, my bobblehead is watching you.
Up there.
I know I told Jimmy to put it up there, but he.
But see, I think we should make a wall and maybe if we have, or you could do something, we get everybody.
A bobblehead, that'd be
Like a
awesome.
bobblehead family.
All right, guys, that's it for this week. Thank you very much. Jimmy, any last comments?
No.
Very good. Well, that's it. Bye, guys. See y'all soon.
Big bird.
Big bird. Big bird.
Big bird.